And we are live. It's Lynn Bardowski, founder at Million Dollar Party Girl. Welcome to Million Dollar Downline, where I interview extraordinary women in direct sales who have achieved incredible success. And that would be my guest today. So welcome, Denise. How are you?
Oh, fabulous, Lynn. Pretty excited to be here.
I'm so excited. And so for what many of our viewers might not know is I actually get to hear the guest story alongside with you. So this is the first time I'm actually meeting Denise Ouellette, Senior VP at Tocara, who built a $7 million downline organization in 3 years. So obviously, she's doing something right, and she's going to be sharing some of those success tips with us today. So welcome everyone that is here for the live broadcast. If you're watching on the replay, type in replay viewer so we know that you were here. Feel free to ask a question in the comments. We'll try to get some guest questions on the screen before the end of the broadcast. This is a 30-minute show. And if you're watching on YouTube, hi to our YouTube viewers. We put our shows on YouTube too. So thank you. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give us a thumbs up. Okay. So Denise, I actually just found out, Denise, you got your start in direct selling did you say 17 years ago?
About that. It was 1994. I was trying to count back.
No, I know, right?
Oh, actually over 20 years.
Yeah, I was going to say.
4 years.
Actually, 4 years after I got my start, and I just found out Denise got her start with the same company I was with, Party Light. And she hyperventilated at her very first party.
I did, like really into a brown paper bag.
Oh my gosh. So tell us what happened. So were you there by yourself? Was your consultant there? What was your first start like in direct sales?
That was actually my first solo show. And, it was something I'd never done before. And thank goodness it was at my aunt's house and there was 5 to 6 women there. I still remember it like it was yesterday. And it was just like, oh my gosh, they got me a brown paper bag and I managed to go through my next 5 minutes of a presentation. And I think what was amazing is I got through that first party, Lynn, but then it was, oh my gosh, I had to do my second party 2 days later and she was expecting 20 to 30 people. And I was just like, oh my gosh. So talk about stepping outside of your comfort zone and just taking a deep breath.
You survived, right?
I did. You survived is a great word.
You did it anyway. So I didn't even know. That's so funny that we got our start. And of course, you're in Canada. I'm in the United States. So you also built to the top in that company and then went into the corporate side of direct sales. Fast forward.
So I was working on the corporate side for about 4 years, and then that company unexpectedly shut down. And it was just like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Do I look for something else corporately, or do I go back as a consultant, start all over again? So it was something, I think I did a lot of soul searching and I really loved what this industry offered. I love being back in the field where, you've got that financial freedom and the flexibility of time and no glass ceiling. So for me, it was really easy to make that decision to go back into the field.
And so you were at that point, found yourself with jewelry company, Tocara. Mm-hmm. And what led you to that company? Was jewelry your true passion? Is that what you really loved about it?
Actually, no. I'll be super honest, Lynn. After being in the industry for so long, I kind of had my checkpoints of what I was looking for. And it was, like any other company, a strong host program, a strong guest program, a strong compensation program, the company, and the quality of the product. So it was those things that when I took a look at all the different companies, it was like, Tocara for me had all those checkpoints.
So you were able to be a little bit more strategic and bring that wisdom and really search for what you wanted, which is very much unlike most direct sellers start, right? It's like, oh, we just fall in love with the product and we get the kit and kind of see what happens from there. You brought that wisdom with you And of course, at that point, you did have quite a lot of connections. And I know your team now, I think you said, is in over 300 cities all across Canada. Is that correct?
It is, yes, and into the US as well. But yeah, mostly Canada, and we're literally spread out coast to coast to coast, like literally from one end to the other and everywhere in between.
So what really impressed me, yes, you did have a background in direct sales. You were able to be more strategic and build quickly. You actually reached your first $1 million in organization sales in your first year. But here's what's really extraordinary about that. You sustained it and grew it. So not that it's easy to get to the top quickly, but sustaining it is a whole nother, entity. And it takes leadership, right? It takes communication. And I know you said that communication is your superpower. And so now you've built that to a $7 million organization in 3 years, which is just amazing. So tell us a little bit about how you are tapping into technology to continue to build and grow and lead that mega organization that you've built now.
Well, actually, Lynn, everything happened so quickly, and I knew literally right from the get-go that we really need to get some systems in place, and we really needed to connect everybody. We were learning new programs and just bringing people from all together. So I think, yes, coming together is one thing, staying together is another, but continuing to grow, that's really the key to it. So that's kind of too when Facebook Live was just starting. And right away, I knew Facebook Live, it was going to be the game changer. Like it really was. And I didn't know much about it. And that's where I kind of found Lori Girardi and connected with her and just learning different systems and Facebook Live, having our Facebook group, connecting everyone, building those relationships, learning together, I would say was absolutely key.
And actually, that's how we met as well. So Lori and I founded the first live stream school together for direct sellers. And we met over, you joined our live stream school, and now you're part of our Visionista community. So, that's kind of how it works. I talk a lot about building the know, like, and trust factor, right? And that's how it works on social media. People connect with you, they get to know you. And I actually used your personal profile photo as an example in our Visionista group today, because it's a great way to build the know, like, and trust factor and communicate who you are and what you do without being salesy and spammy on your personal profile. And so good job there. I really loved it. It's so adorable. Like your personality just comes through in that photo. And Inga's saying she loves that you own, that you know, and you own your superpower. So Facebook Live, of course, really makes everything so possible to build and expand well beyond your backyard and put those systems in place to communicate with your team. So what would be your advice? This is one of my favorite questions to ask on this show is, what is your advice for a brand new consultant starting your team today? What is your onboarding? What do you tell them is the must, action step for them to launch successfully?
Okay. Well, number one, and it's not something you can necessarily just tell them, but, I really love it when we have a new consultant comes on board and they have that willingness to learn. I really think that's absolutely key, that they're willing to learn about the industry and then to really be able to share with them our Fast Start program and to get them headed in that direction. And I feel as long as they're willing, they're coachable, and just being able to help direct them through that whole process is key.
Yeah, I agree. Being coachable, and just that willingness and openness that we don't know everything. We never know everything. We're always learning and growing, right, along the way.
Yeah, even for myself, I'm always learning.
I agree. And I really find that as a kind of a core element to all of the women that I interview for the show. They never say they know everything. It's like we're always willing to learn new things. And so if you have a question for Denise, now would be a great time to ask it in the comments so we can make sure we get to that. All right. So you mentioned the fast start. Is there a certain number of parties that you recommend a new consultant get started with? Are they partying in home, online? Is it a combination of both? What do you suggest they do?
A little bit of a combination. Definitely scheduling their launch party within the first 7 to 10 days. That's the goal. So they can introduce it personally to all their friends, their family, have them play with the jewelry and really experience a party. And right away, they're earning house credits, they're earning money, they're experiencing success, and they've already hopefully hit that first level of our Fast Start program. So just kind of so they can experience success very quickly within their first 7 to 10 days. And then from there, just helping them book up. I mean, 6 is kind of a magic number, but just really working towards that 6. And by doing the 6, they're going to reach all the rewards in our Fast Start program.
Okay, so a goal to hold 6 parties in their first month?
Actually, for 60 days.
For 60 days,
yeah.
Okay. So they're earning money, they're seeing success. And you mentioned that's a combination of home and online parties.
Right.
Because done well, right? That Facebook party can certainly be very successful. Yeah. And so what do you find, is there kind of a perfect mix of the two that you recommend they do?
Well, actually, I still prefer having that home party where possible, but kind of adding in a little bit of the Facebook Live. So sometimes it's setting up that Facebook event and then going live, swiping in your new consultant and introducing her as a brand new Tocara consultant and inviting them to come to their launch party. So it's still kind of, usually it's that home party, but using the tools that we have to invite all her friends across North America.
Yeah, I agree. And I really feel that the Facebook Live with your hostess is going to be the new way that we party in 2018. That it will be, forget the post. It's going to be a very shorter, this is my prediction.
And then even at our party, just taking that 5 minutes, going back into the event, going live for anyone that couldn't come. So yeah, just really utilizing being able to go Facebook Live into our event and doing the home party experience.
Yeah, I totally agree. And do you have a favorite platform that you're using for going live? That's one of the questions Connie's asking. Are you using your smartphone or are you tapping into some of the other platforms like BeLive TV, which we're broadcasting on right now?
Okay, so for the actual party, definitely my phone. It's the easiest. You can take it anywhere. And I just love it's fast and easy. So that would be number one. But I also use OBS. And that, over a year ago, Lori kind of went through her whole training, use OBS a lot. I've used BeLive. I have lately been using Go Lightstream. So I love those because you can have the green room, you can have, 8 to 10 people there, bring in your team all across. And then I also use Zoom. I'm not live. I don't use Zoom live, but I use that, when we're having a new consultant training or we have our weekly leaders meeting as well. We do that through Zoom.
Through Zoom. I still do use Zoom a lot as well for our VIP membership group for private strategy sessions. Mm-hmm. So, I think the lesson there is that there is no perfect way. It's just there's, and somebody's probably creating a new way to go live today as we're talking. So the more you embrace technology, the more you're going to always be ahead of the curve. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
And I think especially as a leader, it's important to be that one that's doing it so that your team can feel confident, even though if you're just still figuring it out, right? That's okay too.
Yeah.
And so who were your mentors that really helped you to gain more confidence and kind of feel the fear and do it anyway? Who inspires you? This is going back over 20 years ago. Definitely my upline at the time, just being there, they were incredible role models. And I think, kind of moving past that, right now I don't have an upline. And I just really seek out,
information. I love reading books and just tapping into other resources like yourself and Lori, that whole team as well.
And yeah, I'm a big reader. I'm a little like book nerd geek.
Yeah, me too.
And so what does your day look like now that you have built this incredible organization? So many times people would probably just love to be a fly on the wall in your office and follow you around for a day. How do you start your day?
Well, this is my office. And, kind of number one, I know when we were talking about this earlier, Lynn, I didn't say this, but it's getting dressed. I know some people can work through their day in their pajamas. They're working from home. That is not me. I feel I need to get dressed, put the makeup on, and really start my day. It's kind of as soon as I walk into the office, that's the beginning of my work day. So I think that's just kind of myself personally. And then big cup of coffee. That's always important too. But then really taking a look at the day and being able to prioritize it. And I always try and, if there's hostess coaching or leads that I need to follow up on, I always put that at the beginning of my day. So my two kind of acronyms that I use is DIBB, does it build my business? And then DIMM, does it make me money? So those are the activities that I focus on first. And then, so that's kind of my priority process.
Yeah, I feel like we have the same exact direct sales journey, because that's exactly what we would do too. And do you have specific days that you focus on specific activities, or does it literally just start with looking at that to-do list for the day and prioritizing?
Actually, you know what? If you could see my day timer, I use the one where it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I literally time block. So, at the beginning of the week, pretty much my entire week is time blocked. And typically Monday, that's where I'll take a look, do the recognition, updates on sales and new consultants. So that's kind of my Monday. My Tuesdays tend to be coaching. So I've got that all blocked throughout the day. And then Wednesdays we always have our director's call. So that's kind of my Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And that pretty much stays the same.
Okay. So it sounds like there's a whole lot of focus on influencing that organization and really leading the way. You're running your business like a business.
Yes. Yes. I always say too, you can do this business part-time, full-time, but not in your spare time. And that goes for everybody.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So I hope somebody write that down. So do you use Facebook groups at all? That's one of the questions we have here from Michelle. Do you have a group page that everybody's in so that you can communicate with your downline, or has your downlines kind of broken off that as they get to the top levels?
Both. So we've got one big group, and then also the leaders have their own group. But in the big group, that's our number one communication. Like everything happens through that Facebook group.
And do you use the files section for easy way for them to access content? Do you organize that in a certain way? Tell us some of your tips.
Actually, we use files a lot. And what I love too is our organization. I mean, they're just so incredibly talented, like just wow. It just kind of blows me away all the time. And our file section has so much great information. And I'm a big believer in don't reinvent the wheel. So I love it. When new consultants do come on board, we've got everything there under files for them. So it's really a fabulous resource.
And so do you tag them so that they know how to access it? How do they find out about it so that you can streamline that onboarding process?
Actually, we do have new consultant training once a month, and that we do on Zoom.
Okay.
And so that's always a past event. So they can go right into the Facebook group. It doesn't matter when they start. Definitely their upline is working with them personally, but then we also have recorded new consultant training every month.
Okay, so you're just repurposing, you recorded it one time.
Oh,
correct?
We do it every month.
Oh, it's every month. Okay.
Every month.
Yeah. And for that monthly period, they go back and they can watch the replay?
Yes.
And that's how you keep it current and fresh with whatever's happening company-wide.
Right.
Okay, brilliant. And does that start out as a live video, or is that something that you create like on a Zoom and then upload?
Actually, we do it on Zoom. So we invite all the new consultants. So that way it's kind of a chance to put a face to a name, building the relationships as well. So, instead of just seeing a name, you really get to meet the person as well. And for all the new consultants to connect right away. So again, because we are so spread out, sometimes the new consultant can be all by herself. So just another way of her to connect to the team. So we actually record it. It's live, I guess. We record it and then it's there as a past event.
Okay, so it's not just you.
No.
You're on screen with those new consultants.
Yes. Yeah, so we have PowerPoint. We've got one of our top leaders as well. Sometimes we'll have other leaders step in. So it's really a team process.
Okay, and that's really, it sounds like where your team building starts from a new consultant's very first start. They feel like they are part of a bigger team.
Yeah.
So exciting. Great job. I hope you guys are taking notes on all this, by the way. So let's talk a little bit about leadership. How many leaders are in your downline right now?
Oh my gosh, just over 30.
Over 30 leaders. And one of my favorite questions to ask is, what has been your biggest profit check so far?
We do get month-end overrides and bonuses. So I actually did go through because I couldn't remember. And for 1 week, it was just over $17,000.
$17,000 in Canadian money in 1 week. Yeah, I mean, people have no idea the kind of income that you can make in this industry. And when you think bigger and dream bigger, it's not just about you, but imagine the income that your downline earned because you had that bigger picture. So let's talk about, leading and what it takes to be successful. What do you think a leader's biggest action step should be, or, what it takes to really succeed as a leader?
I would still say stay focused on their personal business. I think that's where sometimes a new leader can get derailed a bit because all of a sudden they're like, I'm a leader.
Yeah. I can manage my team.
Yes. So I would say definitely it's continuing to grow, continuing to build. And, I love most companies always have trip incentives as well. And I just think, that's so incredible, especially for every leader to be working towards that because that's going to grow their business as well.
So start with earning those company incentives and promotions, and just doing those activities will help you grow your team.
Yes.
Colleen's asking, do you have accountability partners? Do you yourself, or because I know you don't have a leader because you were sponsored direct to corporate, do you personally, who are your mentors, and do you encourage your leadership team to do so as well?
Actually, we've never really gone the accountability partner route. I would say we just kind of really work together. We come together once a week as a leader team, and there's lots of different brainstorming. We do a lot of recognition. So yeah, no, we don't have accountability partners.
And it's obviously working.
Yeah. I mean, some of them might on their own, but as a actual team organization, we don't.
Well, I feel like it's almost, it's probably there because they are part of the team, and that it's in itself, like that's the glue that keeps everybody accountable because everybody has each other's back, right? When one person of the team member kind of, falters, it impacts the rest of the team, and that can hold you accountable just in itself. So a great place to start is with that team focus. And I know you said you think for leadership that the biggest skill a leader have can be to inspire greatness in others. And I love that.
Thank you.
I just think, it's just like gives me goosebumps hearing things like that, because it really is about lifting other people up to a level that they never thought they can achieve. So What are some of the ways that you've implemented to do that? Is it through recognition or other ways?
You know what? I think it's a whole number of things. Definitely recognition. When people also reach different levels of different promotions, whether it's through rank advancement or they're reaching certain levels at conference and walking across stage for the very first time. I mean, that's so huge for so many women, especially, or earning an incentive trip and being able to travel to places they've never been before. So I think it just encompasses so much because there's so many firsts, whether it's personal rewards, personal growth, financial, recognition. I think that's what's so fabulous about this entire industry.
So really kind of tapping into what motivates that person.
Yes.
What lifts them up. Kelly's asking, so if you coach your leaders to be mentors, so when they get to leadership, how do you work with them to then start not managing their team and learning those coaching skills? Or is that something that happens even before they become a leader?
You know what? I think the process begins right when they're working with a new consultant. And that's the coaching process where it starts right then and there. And then too, we've got, similar to other companies, we have a 6-week leadership program. So when we roll out a leadership program, then there's also that training for the leaders on how they can help guide and coach their future leaders as well.
And is that something that you created yourself?
Actually, lucky for us, we just had a company one roll out this past year. So love that.
Oh, that's so nice when you have that.
Yes.
That's corporate support. So people just don't get there and it's like all this fanfare and you go, congratulations, you're a leader.
No,
walk away.
Just taking it every step. And I always say that, as a consultant, you're in training for the next level. And as soon as you hit, say, silver director, you're in training for the next level. And then pearl director, you're always in training for ruby. So you're always in training for that next level as you move up the different leadership levels in a company.
So you never arrive. It's always
you never do.
What's next?
Always
what's next. And I think that's great words of wisdom for everybody. And really never kind of settle that, you made it to that position and never settle in. Never settle into that. That's a quick road to failure.
Yeah. And I think too, sometimes people think, oh my gosh, I need to know everything to become a leader or a director. And that's so not true. That again, in the industry, you can learn as you go. And I think that's the beauty of it. Yeah.
And even with all the years of experience, you are still feeling that you're learning new things. So you're never going to know it all. All right. We have 2 minutes left. What is the favorite app on your phone? What are you using as a tool?
On my phone, I would have to say, I use Red Stamp a lot because it's easy. You can download pictures. So I use that for invitations. You can do them right on the spot that your hostesses can easily text. So I use them for parties, for online events. Even if I'm having my own bling bash, it's just really easy to use. So that one and Ripple. I do enjoy using Ripple because it's really easy as well. And I find a way to brand yourself as well.
Do you have the free Ripple or the paid Ripple?
I have the paid Ripple because I wanted to have my information on each one or our team logo as well.
You don't want it to say Ripple.
Exactly. I thought it was worth the $9.95.
Yeah, it's very affordable, definitely. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Can you believe it's already been 30 minutes?
Wow.
So I'm like hitting my microphone. So what's next for you? Let's end with some parting words. What's next for you going into a new year?
Well, so excited about 2018. It's always such an exciting year when there's a new collection coming out. And what I think I'm most excited about is just seeing so many leaders in our organization ready to move up to their next levels. And I don't know, that just gives me such pride and joy. And I think that's what I'm most excited about.
Oh, it sounds like 2018 is going to be a record-breaking year for your team.
Absolutely.
I can tell. And that's because of the leader that you are. Absolutely. All right. Thank you so much, Denise. I appreciate you being here with us today. Thank you to all our viewers. They're asking what was the favorite app. So Red Stamp, which is free.
Yes.
Again, right in the App Store, and Ripple, RIPL. And you can make fun animated.
Yes. I even used one as a Facebook cover, and it was super easy.
And it fit.
It fit.
I didn't even know that. So who knew? And so you get that slideshow.
Yes.
Kind of like a GIF. All right. Thank you so much, Denise. I'm excited. We will hang out with you more in our Visionista group and over at Livestream School. We'll just keep this party going.
Awesome.
Thank you. Have a really great rest of the week.
Okay. Thanks, Lynn.
All right. Bye, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.